Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. I am the Golden Light Goddess, and I'm here today to do a general reading for the sign of Cancer for the month of January 2018. Down below in the descriptions you'll find more details about this month's reading. I will be using 3 decks actually for this reading. I have Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Tarot, Karen Sangster's Chakra Insight Oracle for the guidance card, as well as I'll be pulling a clarifying cards from Kat Black's Golden Tarot deck. Also, for this particular reading this month, today is January 1st, 2018. I was guided to wait until after the holiday energy had subsided a little and we were firmly rooted in the energy of 2018 before releasing my videos. So here we are in 2018. I've been asking all of my viewers for these readings to hold one very clear question in mind as I shuffle the cards today. And that question is, how good can it get? All right? How good can it get is the question that you're contemplating as I begin to shuffle the cards for the sign of Cancer for January as well as 2018. As we begin to look at the energies available for the sign of Cancer, calling on my guides, spiritual teachers, and helpers. That was interesting, Cancer. All right, let's try that again. Calling on my guides, spiritual teachers, and helpers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Cancer, to overlight and oversee this reading as we look at the energies that will be up and available for the sign of Cancer for January 2018, as well as for the remainder of the year. Giving thanks in advance to all that is loving and divine for perfect clarity, perfect wisdom, and perfect vision as we look at the energies available for the sign of Cancer for 2018. Also, if you know your rising sign or your ascendant, please take a look at that video as well, as it will give you additional clarity about the energies available to you for 2018. Giving thanks in advance for perfect clarity, perfect wisdom, and perfect vision as we look at the energies available for the sign of Cancer for January, as well as the remainder of 2018. All right, I'm going to continue to shuffle here. We had some interesting energy just as I was shuffling the cards here, so I'm going to shuffle a little bit longer so that we get a very good reading for the sign of Cancer for January 2018. A very clear reading is actually what I'm intending to say there. A very clear reading for Cancer for 2018. All right, that feels good, Cancer. Let's go ahead now and take a look at your cards. All right, so I'll be laying out 12 cards here that will represent the energies currently, the energies and potentials currently available for the sign of Cancer coming into 2018. I will take a moment to identify all 12 of your cards here, but we will only be looking in depth today at your January card because that is the primary energy that's up and available for the sign of Cancer. All right, there you go, Cancer. You're coming into 2018 with the Wheel of Fortune as your overriding energy. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is all about fate. It's also a very lucrative or prosperous card to have. So this is a very, very good card coming into the new year. Here, it's all about good fortune, about the tables turning in your favor, fate, destiny, things of that nature. So off to a very strong and positive start coming into 2018 for the sign of Cancer. Now let's go ahead and take a look then at the rest of your cards coming in for 2018. And again, you will see these cards throughout the year as I will also make mention of them. They will be in use in your cards throughout the year, in your readings throughout the year. Here for January, and this is the card that will be clarifying for your January reading with 3 additional cards, is the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Now, the 8 of Cups upright, this guy is looking out, ready to move on, ready to move out of his current situation and on to some better things here. When we see this card coming up in the reverse, it indicates that someone, maybe a family member, a lover, a friend, someone coming back home to who they are, perhaps not necessarily to your home, but coming back home to who they are, fully having learned the lessons of the past. And this could also be you, Cancer. This could be you returning to yourself, because again, the wheels of fate are turning in your direction. So this could very well be you coming full circle, if you will, with the Wheel of Fortune there, coming full circle, letting the past go and being able to fully embrace the lessons that you've had to learn here. So I am feeling much more like this is you. Again, with this Wheel of Fortune card, knowing that this wheel, this fate, destiny, this wheel is spinning and it's turning. So for you to now be coming full circle and really learning your lessons and being ready to move forward with a new attitude in this new year is a very, very positive thing there. All right, so let's briefly take a look now at the rest of your cards for 2018. For the month of February, you have the 7 of Pentacles coming in. All right. For March, you have the Lovers upright. For the month of April, you have the 4 of Swords in the reverse. And for May, you have the 10 of Wands upright. For June, you have the Star coming up in the reverse. For July, you have the Knight of Cups coming in upright. And for August, you have the 3 of Wands reversed. For September, you have the Death card reversed. For October, you have the 7 of Cups. For the month of November, you have the Queen of Swords coming up in the reverse. And lastly, for the month of December, you're ending the year with the Seven of Swords there. All right, so again, these cards, the remaining cards outside of your January card, represent potentials for the year. And as each month progresses, based on the decisions you made in January, this may impact your harvest card in February, and so on and so forth. So for us to go into too great of detail right now, my guidance is that that is not the most helpful thing to do, because so much can change simply based on cause and effect. Choices, actions and reactions, this still will represent an energy that's up and active for you in the month that it's listed. But what how to clarify those cards is what we'll do throughout the year. All right, so I am taking the time to record all of the signs, all of the cards from each and every sign, so that we have a very good record of what your cards were for the year. All right, so let's get back to this Eight of Cups in the reverse. Coming back home to yourself is what I'm picking up here. And we're going to clarify that particular card with Cat Black's deck, the Golden Tarot deck. So let's go ahead and shuffle the cards now and get 3 additional cards for the month of January for the sign of Cancer for January 2018. 3 additional cards here for the sign of Cancer for January 2018. There's one. All right. We have the 5 of Coins coming up in the reverse. And let's see what additional guidance, how good can it get for Cancer here? Okay, it looks like the other 2 just jumped right out at us. All right, so we have reversals here. As a matter of fact, your main card is also reversed. The card that we're clarifying here is also reversed, but we know that that is not necessarily going to be a bad thing. So let's start here with this 5 of Coins coming up in the reverse. All right, so 5s are all about change. 5s, and again, I am very much picking up with the Wheel of Fortune that you are entering into a phase of change. The wheels are spinning. So this 5 represents that level of change that that you're currently in, because these are your January cards. So with the 5 of Coins coming up in the reverse, we're talking about a new job, a new home, returns, again, returning to yourself, as well as recovery, right? A time of recovery is what I'm really picking up here with this 8 of Cups. You've learned those lessons from the past. Whatever 2017, whatever gifts were there for you to extract, even from the most difficult situations there, you've been able to learn your lessons from those experiences. And as a result, your 5 of Coins is now, this energy is now expressing that there's new hope available for you. Again, either you could be potentially getting into a new home, a new job. Some sort of newness is manifesting for Cancers in the month of January. Absolutely. The next card that you have here is the 4 of Wands coming up in the reverse. So this Four of Wands is upright. It's about foundations, about your home, and being stable there. Now, in the reverse, it's moving out, leaving home. Perhaps leaving again, coming right back to this sense of returning to yourself, as well as with the Five of Coins in the reverse, a returning, a real sense that a recovery is what I was picking up with the Five of Coins coming up in the reverse. So you're recovering, you're returning to yourself, and you're also currently you're in a position here to really begin to benefit from these returns. Really a lot of movement is what I'm picking up here. We also have the Seven of Swords coming up in the reverse. Now, upright, this represents the theft card, having something taken away from you. But as you can see here, this Seven of Swords is coming up in the reverse. And it really, again, there's this theme of return. So if in the upright something is being taken from you, then in the reverse it's being returned to you. I really, all of your cards are strongly stressing this point, that there is a absolute return in store for Cancers. I'm really feeling like this return is very personal in nature. In other words, it's more of a sense that something that you feel that you've lost, and it doesn't necessarily mean a material loss, right? Doesn't mean like if you lost a car in 2011 that car is magically going to appear now, although that could very well be the case. I'm feeling more like this is a personal return, a return to self, a return to being able to recover from your past losses, and being in a position in this current month, in this current time, to really allow and grow with this return. Right? As I mentioned when we were talking about recovery there, as well, you have this Wheel of Fortune signifying return and destiny, things of that nature. So really getting a sense for Cancers that this is a very positive movement for you, a very positive movement back to self. And you're returning back to yourself with lessons learned in hand. So you have this newfound energy, this newfound ability. You've learned from your mistakes. You've learned from the pain, the struggle, whatever you've had to endure. And now you're coming into a time where you will begin to reap the rewards of that learning experience. All right, that is really what I'm picking up here for the sign of Cancer for the month of January here. So let's go ahead now and take a look at your guidance card for the month of January. Calling on my guides, spiritual teachers, and helpers to give us one additional guidance card for the sign of Cancer coming into January 2018. What is the highest guidance for the sign of Cancer coming into January 2018? There we go. All right, and if you'll notice, before I reveal your final card, notice that as I was shuffling initially, there was cards falling out. I had to hold the deck and center myself and reshuffle there in order to get that. And I noticed the same thing as I was shuffling your guidance cards. So when that happens, there's this sense that you're not in control, like things are out of your hands. that comes in when the cards begin to do that. So I pull them together to try to bring that energy back in to allow you to feel more of a sense of groundedness about yourself, because you are returning to yourself. And as you begin to do that, you are much more likely to feel like things are not working, or things are not moving the way that they should. So I just wanted to add that additional message. Now here you're pulling the heart chakra. This beautiful green chakra is the heart chakra. Now, most of the cancers that I know are very sensitive, very heart, very family oriented individuals, very loving and open, which is also in line with your ability here to return to yourself with the lessons learned, because your heart is so open. And this Spirit is reminding you to keep your heart open, to allow things to flow through and to move through you with ease and grace, to stay heart-centered, and to allow that openness at the heart level to continue to guide you on your way as you return to yourself. Because it's all about that. It's all about operating with compassion, treating people and situations with compassion, and having the heart to know when you need to give and when you need to do things for others. And sometimes the best thing that we can do is sit back and allow others to work through their own situations. But cancers are very, very open-hearted individuals. So I think this is a perfectly beautiful way to remind you that you're returning back to yourself, back to your ability to remain open-hearted and to just allow life to flow through you. All right? All right, very good, Cancer. All right, so that does conclude your reading for January 2018, as well as your 2018 cards. I want to remind you to visit my website, theroyalcandle.com, to purchase your intention candles for 2018. Today I am burning the Lavender Love Never Dies candle, and I also have other candles available in that line. So if you're inclined to do so, please visit that website, and I wish you an abundant, prosperous, joyous, and loving 2018. Namaste.